kommen zur Ausstellung der Zappanale. Worum die Ausstellung geht, wisst ihr ja schon. Just for my, also nur für meine, ja, also dass ich weiß, was ich tun habe. Is there anybody here who speaks no German at all? Okay. Anybody here who speaks?
We missed that lesson.
We missed the program, actually. And how about English? Gibt es Kollegen, die wirklich mal überhaupt kein Englisch können?
We have one, but no problem. I translate for him.
Okay. Okay, ich bitte euch darum um Verständnis. Wir sind zu 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 und die sind alle recht prächtige Persönlichkeiten. Ich werde leider nicht alles 1:1 übersetzen können, sondern aber ich glaube, wenn irgendwas gar nicht rüberkommt, jetzt wenn irgendwas gar nicht rüberkommt, also wir sind unter uns, dann schreiben wir halt, what do you say, what do you say? Okay. Wunderbar. So, here we are. Zappanale 26, you guys made it. Not only that, Sunday morning, I made it.
There is that.
It's room to celebrate. Most of you guys, most of you know who all of these people are. Zach, would you like to just say good morning to these people?
Good morning.
He's a Scotsman, so that's, you know.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Danny, don't get started. They won't stop.
Danny, come home,
We'll get the rest of them later. Ruby's come backstage. Es ist manchmal sehr schwierig, den Landsmännern von mir zu erklären, wo man tatsächlich jedem die Hand geben muss, mindestens einmal am Tag, oder dass man kein Geld trinken darf, ohne in die Augen zu gucken. Aber naja, man gewöhnt sich an was. I was just saying, it's kind of hard to explain it. Like here, everybody always shakes hands with everybody, and you can't drink beer without saying cheers, 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 cheers. Mike Willis, some of you have heard of him. Denny Wally is a name for some of you. Jeff Holgate. And Mr. Twister, Craig Stewart. I found out yesterday, which language was speaking? I'll do this. I found out yesterday that a couple of these guys have known each other much longer than I ever thought. I didn't really know, or hadn't registered, that Denny went to school with Frank and with the Captain Beefheart, with Don Van Vliet out in Lancaster. You want to Motorhead? And Motorhead Sherwood, not Lemmy Motorhead, the other Motorhead, the real Motorhead. Yeah. Do you want to tell us about driving Frank to the Black House?
Sure.
Was he a big driver?
No. In fact, when he got his first car, it didn't have brakes, so to stop, he would turn it into the curb.
Das ist jetzt der erste Auto, hatte Bremsen, musste den an den Bordstein einfach laden und fahren. So was geht in Lancaster. Ja, war
I lived in Lancaster, California in the mid-50s, because I was only 3.
right, yeah.
Already in high school.
29.
So, he had blackouts. I was maybe 14 and a half, 15 years old. And I had a learner's permit where I lived in the desert, so I was 14 and a half years drive. So I used my parents' car to drive blackout rehearsals. I was best friends with his brother Bobby. So I'd be at Frank's house just about every day. Plus we collected records.
We spoke to Bobby on Skype. We had an interview yesterday. Ja, Danny war tatsächlich mit Franks Bruder Bob, also befreundet, beste Freunde. Und weil eben so Lancaster ist natürlich in der Wüste, ist ein bisschen alles ein bisschen wie auf dem Land, würde man sagen. Hier, da dürfte man auch mal mit 14,5 Jahre, also weil Danny war ja nur 3 Jahre alt, sagt er 1957. You were 3 years old, right? Yes. Damals, aber, ne, aber da dürfte er fahren schon, also in dem Alter. Und es hat Frank Zappa immer einfach mal, weil er immer dabei war, weil Bobby sein Freund war, hat der Frank einfach mal mitgefahren zu den Jugendsitzungen, Sessions von The Blackouts, der Gruppe, Zappas Gruppe damals. Zappa hat natürlich damals keine Gitarre gespielt, er war ursprünglich Schlagzeuger. Ja. You there with the guitar? That is a pick. That begins, you kind of, for me, come out of left field. I didn't know you until I got to know Zap Paddington.
I live in the left field.
Er sagte, er lebt da auch mal ganz weit draußen.
Live in the left field.
You told us yesterday, I'd like to hear it again. How did you get into this business?
Just started out playing every other kind of music. When Frank Zappa was always an impossible target to reach. And then I met our drummer when I moved to Holland, and he was a Zappateer, like some of these guys. A Zappateer.
Zappateers.
His name is Sucker.
With an O, right?
Yeah. S-O-K-K-A.
Okay.
And then what happened?
The rest is history.
And then I met him.
Yeah.
And then we always wanted to do this music. You know, we never imagined that we could do it with these guys. You know, so we just worked really hard the last few years trying to do it properly.
Also Zapp ist nicht aus Lancaster, sondern aus Schottland. Und da war es für mich auch mal ein Begriff, also dass man Zapp kennt in Schottland, ist ja durchaus denkbar. Ich dachte, sie hatten nur diese Gruppe Anthrax und die komische Rücke und so. I'm just doing a Scotland. Nothing too disrespectful. Aber er meinte eben also, er macht sein Leben lang Musik. Your father was a musician too, did you say? Is that right?
Yeah, actually, my father was a huge fan of big band and Oscar Peterson and those kind of things. So when I was growing up, we were listening to Oscar Peterson every day in the house, which I still have in my car now, actually. Yeah. No, I have Oscar Peterson in my car.
His house is in his car. House is in his car.
He's actually sitting in my car now. But no, we listened a lot of jazz music, you know. So I was really into music that wasn't normal, you know.
Also Zappi, ich wollte auch mal fragen, weil sein Vater ist auch Musiker gewesen. Er meinte, er ist aufgewachsen mit Oscar Peterson, mit dem Jazzpianist, also immer um ihn herum. Und das hat seine musikalische Sensibilität nochmal geprägt. Als er etwas älter wurde, so kam er nach Amsterdam, man vergisst noch, wie heißt das? Holland. Ja. Und da ist er natürlich mal ein paar Zappateers über den Weg gelaufen. Kennt ihr alle die Zappateers? Everybody knows the Zappateers?
Yes.
My goodness. This is like the lead.
I see a few of them here.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Sometimes when I brush my teeth in the morning, they're hiding.
They're hiding.
They're hiding behind your teeth.
Ja. Und eben natürlich mit der Zeit, so und auch durch die Zappateers, dann Zappas Musik immer natürlich bewundert, das war so der unerreichbare Traum. Aber irgendwann hat er dann auch mal live und die restliche Crew hier kennengelernt und jetzt ist er da. Very good. Jeff, as we know now, your big appearance was on Joe's Garage, is that right? Yeah, the title, the deck of Joe's Garage. That's the world famous saxophone. Also das Titellied. Tell us about playing. Well, actually, I can start by doing one. I recently had to work on an interview with John Smothers, the bodyguard.
Yes.
And his main concern was, this guy from St. Louis, he's going to be trouble.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's my job.
Tell us about playing basketball in St. Louis. You're from St. Louis too?
No,
You're not?
no, actually I'm from Kansas,
Oh,
same state as.
We're next door.
But
Yeah.
you're in.
We're somewhat close relatives. But Ike and I were big basketball fanatics, and we used to terrorize upperclassmen on the court. So we met on the courts,
On the basketball court.
and we were in a summer program, and that's his wife, his girlfriend at the time, Denise, was also there. And so I actually met Ike and Denise exactly at the same time. So, yeah, it's all family there.
So, Jeff ist natürlich also nicht aus St. Louis, aber benachbarte Ortschaft. Und er und Ike, die haben ja die Leute, die Upperclassmen heißt ja die etwas größer sind, die sich heimisch in Bässe gehalten haben sie ja immer auf dem Basketballplatz einfach belehrt. Naja, und Jeff hat Ike und Ikes jetzige Frau und damals Freundin Denise am gleichen Tag kennengelernt. Und wie wir auch jetzt mal gerade erfahren werden, ist er auch eigentlich dafür zuständig, dass Ike überhaupt mal zur Sache gekommen ist. What was the circumstances? Well, you told us.
Well, the sequence of events is pretty much like this. I just finished going to private school, boarding school, and this was a week after we both graduated from high school. And by the time I got there, Jeff was already on the court, and my wife, my girlfriend at the time, she was walking around, didn't even know her yet. We all met each other at the same time because we were in the same summer, they call it a pre-freshman college program. And after a while, after beating the snot out of like upperclassmen on the basketball court, Jeff and I actually started talking while we were shooting baskets, and he asked me, you know, what kind of music I listened, you know, what music I was into. He said, well, I'm into Zappa. I said, well, actually, I kind of was, but kind of wasn't, because I'd been in the woods of Georgia for 3 years, and the only Zappa album I owned was Hot Rats. But Jeff had all the other albums, and we started talking music and shooting baskets. And essentially, we stopped shooting basketball and just started talking nothing but music, and etc. And on the basketball court, we went to our first orientation meeting when we met our advisors, our classmates, etc., to you know, just to start this program, because I mean we had only just gotten out of high school like the week before, and essentially starting about an hour or so after that orientation meeting, we started trying to find out who played any musical instruments in our class or anywhere in the school, and we just started marking them down and picking out, oh, hey, he's a bass player, he's a drummer, we're going to need a keyboard player. So, you know, we started just picking victims. We started picking out victims from that point in time, and just started putting bands together. And every year, the new class would come in, we'd stand at the door and get the new victims for there. And we always put a band together every year. But essentially, Jeff was an English major. I was a political science law major, and he had all the Zappa albums, and Return to Forever, and Mahavishnu Orchestra, things like that. And he would write his English papers, I would write my political science papers. Remember, you'd stack the albums? Yeah. You stack the albums on the record player. We'd just have a stack of albums and listening to Freak Out, Waka Chewbacca, Grand Wazoo, everything. And Jeff would basically bring me up to speed on who was the latest Zappa bands, who were the old guys, all the stuff that I had missed while I was in the woods in Georgia.
We'll get back to that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. And essentially to bring me up to speed on what Zappa was doing, what the order the albums came in, etc., and the personnel, you know, George Duke, Bruce Underwood, Ian Underwood, this guy here, my brother Denny, and until by the time our third year of college rolled around, Frank actually showed up to do a concert at the university that we went to, and that's how I met him.
So you got your bachelor's degree in Zeppelin from Jeff?
Yeah, I got my master's degree.
The master's,
yeah, from this guy here. So we've been best friends ever since we were 18 years old.
Ike erzählt es halt, also die waren eigentlich zu der Zeit, wo sie noch mit Basketball gemacht haben, waren sie frisch aus der Highschool, das ist so ungefähr wie Abiturient oder sowas. Und dann waren sie in einem, so einer Vorbereitungsphase, sage ich mal, Vorbereitungskurs für die Uni. Und da haben sie als allererstes dann eben angefangen, sich über Musik auszutauschen. Oh, that's happened how they sound, yes.
Yes, sir.
Und währenddessen dann eben, also Ike hat angefangen mit Politikwissenschaft. Jeff war ein Anglistik-Student, ihre typische, ja, also Lernsitzungen zusammen waren. Ja, ihr seid alle, glaube ich, auch alt genug zu wissen, dass es mal Schallplatten gibt, das waren so schwarze Scheiben, nicht? Und man konnte sie auch mal stapeln auf dem, kennt ihr das? Ja, das. Also, you always have to ask if people know what it means to say you can stack records.
Yeah,
It doesn't work
it doesn't translate, it doesn't.
Aber die übliche Lernsitzung waren, sie machen so eine halbe Stunde jeweils, Ike übrigens war Politikwissenschaft und Jura. Man stellt sich vor, I want Ike as my lawyer.
That's right.
Aber die ließen dann einfach mal die gestapelte Zappenplatten nebenher ablaufen. Und dann irgendwann war es so, dass sie nicht mehr so viel über das Studium reden, sondern Jeff hat eigentlich mal Ike einfach mal immer informiert über, wer spielt drauf, welche Reihenfolge haben wir gepackt und so weiter und so fort. Und somit, what do we put you in front of your own picture? No. That's right.
You look more like I do anyway, so there you go.
And Mr. Twister, Craig, you were also, of course, on Joe's Garage, you did harmonica. Where are you from again?
Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita. A lot of Kansas people. Kansas State, Kansas.
That's where the Wizard of Oz comes
I
from.
don't know, did you know him? He's basically a roadie or something. I think he was good friends with Jimmy and with Motorhead. Does that say anything in Kansas State, Kansas?
Oh, yeah, I know Kansas.
Yeah, and I think he materializes
Every now and then, yeah, he pops up every now and then.
So once you get out of the back, nachdem man aus den Hinterwelt in Georgia rauskommt, dann geht man nach Kansas, dann entdeckt man Zappa oder auch umgekehrt. The Twister part. Where's the Twister from? Why are you the Twister, Mister?
1971, I had been drafted into the United States Army during the Vietnam era, and I was very unhappy with not the soldiers, but the political. And so I needed to come to Europe, to go to Europe, to see how other human beings live, and to get another experience and win a wonderful education. So I came first to Luxembourg and then to Holland and Amsterdam specifically, and London. I didn't have a lot of money, I hitchhiked, you know, and so that was my main reason for coming over, was to get a different perspective of other cultures. And so there was a youth hostel that I stayed in Amsterdam, where people from all over Morocco, India, all over France, Germany, and there was an English fellow. And since I played harmonica, huff and puff, you know, okay, and they call tornadoes twisters. So he started calling me twister and stuff.
Nice. Also Craig kommt auch aus Kansas, so das ist ja irgendwie Holland und Kansas haben irgendwie eine kosmische Verbindung, die wir jetzt mal rauskriegen werden. Ja. Craig wurde ja natürlich auch eingezogen für den Vietnamkrieg und er meinte ja, das war, wie man sich denken kann, scheiße. Die Soldaten waren auch natürlich seine Kameraden waren okay, aber hinterher dachte er, nee, so will ich die Welt nicht kennen und kam nach Europa, um eben einfach mal andere Kulturen zu kennen, auch ohne sie mal umbringen zu müssen. In dieser Zeit, also ist er natürlich per Temper, also per Anhalt ist er oft unterwegs, das ist natürlich eine gute Art und Weise, ist etwas kennenzulernen. In England war es wohl, im Jugendherberge, hatte er sehr gern seine Mundharmonika immer damit mit dabei gehabt und in England hat er immer gesagt, du machst ja so viel Luft, also so viel Wirbel mit deiner Mundharmonika, dann haben sie ihn nach dem Wirbelsturm, nach dem Tornado oder Twister genannt. So ist Mr. Twister. Dieter, sind da so die, willst du die Frage einfach mal vielleicht hier rüberbringen? Maybe we'll start answering the question.
Yes, please.
One of the questions, by the way, is when are you going to play the guitar? We'll leave that one for that. Well,
We did that last night. No, not yet.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not for me.
Oh, yeah. Now it's all becoming clear to me. Jimmy Girl Black liegt auch eine Zeit lang in Kansas, so bei so Cream Cheese, beziehungsweise auch, es geht um Son of Monster, die Zeit of Fear auch heißt es. So Remember Swimming Pool, Kansas. Das ist aber, wo Craig sich auch
It's too early.
What's the question here? Please ask Denny to talk Captain Beefheart.
He's the most.
Ladies,
All right, what do you got there?
we've got the first question is, please ask Denny to talk about Captain Beefheart's artwork on the Bongo Fury tool. Because he used to carry it around with him.
You carry it with him everywhere.
Oh, yeah. He had his art books. And he would sit towards the back of the stage. And he would draw pictures of Frank. And not flattering. And then he would come around and show us. Hey, Frank, look at that. And, Frank would be looking over. Don's going around with his book. I've been trying to. If you take your eye off Frank for a minute, you're in trouble. Because you never know when he's going to change direction. Look at the hand signal, jump up in the air. When he comes down on one, you better be playing that new song. You don't have time for some, hey man, look at this.
Also wie man es in der Schule macht, natürlich Captain Beefheart. Also auf dem Bongo Fury Tour war Captain Beefheart nach langer Zeit wieder versöhnt, sage ich mal, mit Frank Zappa, ging mit auf Tournee. Und bekanntlich hat er seine, also viele Sachen mit sich einfach in Plastiktüten immer mitgehabt, darunter die Kunstblöcke sozusagen. Und während sie gespielt haben, dann eben hat Captain Beefheart Frank abgezeichnet so, und es war nicht besonders schmeichelnd. Und Denny sagt ja, also wenn man mit Frank Zappa spielt, dann musst du immer auf den Chef gucken, weil wenn du einmal hier runter gehst, dann kommst du wieder hoch und Frank ist in der Luft. Und wenn er runterkommt auf den Boden, dann musst du die nächste Note von dem nächsten Lied spielen und wenn nicht, dann hast du Ärger. Also das heißt nur so. Und dann kommt Captain Beefheart und zeigt vielleicht Zappa ohne Hose oder was weiß ich. Hey, look at this! Art in its purest form. Yeah. Denny, I did a discussion of a song of, among others, Advanced Romance yesterday. In the solo on Advanced Romance, you can hear Captain Beefheart. He's playing, was that you playing? No, you weren't playing harmonica. He's playing, and he does some kind of stream of consciousness where he starts to say, I have to call attention to myself. And he's like, I got to call attention. And about a minute later, there's a voice that sounds very much like yours, and you can hear it on the studio or the official recording. It just says, fuck this. And from the accent, I'm betting it's you. But I don't know if you...
You're right on both counts.
Oh. Neue Forschung muss ja... Ich habe mal gesagt, in der Kollege auch, habt ihr alle Bongo Fury? Hat jemand hier keinen Bongo Fury? Sehr gut vertuscht, sehr gut vertuscht. Bei Advanced Romance, wenn man ab ungefähr Minute 4 in dem Solo ist, kommt ein paar Sachen vorher, eben trägt es auf 15, auf 16, die Nachbarn wissen das zu schätzen. Und hör einfach gut hin, weil im Hintergrund von dem Solo, da sind jede Menge dran. Unter anderem ist eben, also Beefheart sagte, ich muss Aufmerksamkeit haben und eine Stimme, die ganz eindeutig Dennis ist, der hat darauf bestätigt, dass irgendwann sagt, fuck this. Das muss ich nicht übersetzen. Did you have a lot to do with Beefheart outside of Bongo Fury? I mean, obviously you guys teenage pals, but you always cross paths with him again and again.
Yeah, a couple of times, but I actually never heard his music until the Bongo Fury tour.
Okay.
And at the end of the tour, Frank wasn't going to tour. He took a little hiatus. So he said, why don't you play with Beefheart? Because Frank was trying to encourage Frank. Don to get out there and get a band together again, try to get back up on his feet, because he made some bad business deals with record companies.
That's not
So Frank gave, and I never heard Beefheart before, never heard his music. So Frank gave me Trout Mask replica. He said, yeah, go home and listen to this, and, you know, get an idea of. So I went home, I put it on the turntable, I'm ready, and I start listening. What the? So I called Frank, I said, Frank, are you mad at me? What did I do? Get out of the band? By being fired?
Yeah.
You know, so he said, just listen to it a couple times.
It'll grow on.
So, and it did. Because I'm really a big blues fan, and that's where my heart is. So, and Frank and I collected, little 45s. We used to go to this store that had all youth records, and a big box, and we go in there looking through it. So anyway, that was where all my heart was. And in that music, after listening to Beefheart probably around the third time, I started to be able to actually find blues bass. I mean, really deep, like a Ornette Coleman spin on it. And, you know, conceptually, you know, it could break the mold kind of thing. And I started. Then, you know, you couldn't to learn a record, because none of that stuff was written down. So you had to listen and find your note. So you put it on. Okay, I got 2 notes. I got those. And then you put it down. So it takes a long time. But, it was worth it. Because that music is written where you have a note, you have another part of that sound. So there's not a lot of freedom to improvise, because it's all. The idea is to have one big note.
Big note.
Yeah, we all share the note. Anyway, that's how I got the band.
Danny sagte, hat natürlich, die waren alle auf der Highschool zusammen, also da haben wir geblieben, Danny waren alle in Lancaster. Wir wissen ja, es ist so einer von den ersten Zappologie war, dass das Zappa anfing, 15 Jahre alt, Blues-Singles, also Rhythm and Blues und Rock'n'Roll-Singles zusammen. Und Danny war auch mit dabei, es gab wohl nur ein Laden, wo man da durch den Bluestisch sozusagen gehen könnte, weil Rhythm and Blues war ein bisschen vorbestraft, wenn man nicht schwarz war, dann war es ja, aber die waren natürlich dabei. Und Danny sagte auf Tournee mit, also Bongo Fury Tournee, Zappa war auch dabei, er hat Captain Beefheart immer dazu ermuntert, also hat da habe ich gefragt, jetzt mach mal eine Gruppe wieder, weil Captain Beefheart hat ein paar ganz schlechte Probleme mit den Plattenfirmen gehabt und war nicht schön so. Und er sagte, Danny, du sollst ja mit Captain Beefheart spielen, komm jetzt. Naja, hier ist Trout Mask Replica. Danny hatte bis dahin keine Captain Beefheart gehört, sondern er kannte nur den Teenager auf dem Blues Record wirklich. Und Danny sagte, ja, dann nehme ich das nach Hause und lege es auf, die Games soll ich spielen. Und nach so 3 Sekunden sagte er, habe ich was ausgebockt? Ist der Zappa mit mir? Ist er böse mit mir? Bin ich gefeuert? Aber er meinte nach 3, 4 Mal reinhören, hört er ganz genau die Blues-Einflüsse aus diesem alten Plattenladen. Es gab eine Anspielung mit Ornette Coleman, das ich nicht rüberbringen kann, da ich es nicht so richtig verstanden habe. Aber Danny meint, man hört ja Blues da drin. Man hört ja auch Ornette Coleman da drin. Es ist ja Teil von dem The Big Note. Und das ist auch Zappas soll ich sagen, Universalvorstellung. So, eigentlich sind wir alle Teil von einem großen Not. Good, that was hard. This is kind of a throwaway question, but we'll try it. The question is kind of open to interpretation. Who is the Jewish princess? Of course, I know the answer. I was going to see.
Well, that was a little after my time.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I came along just after that was released, so I didn't know that there was an actual.
No inspiration on that.
There's a real crew slut But I didn't know that there was a
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Wann? Ich kann auch mal so weit sagen, dass wir bei uns nach deren Zeit natürlich, das ist Shikiburi, ist ein bisschen später. Well, it's like the big note. There is just one big Jewish princess, and those of us, the chosen, are condemned to vibrate with this note.
Yeah, okay.
There's a real jumbo.
Yeah,
There's a real jumbo.
I grew up with it.
There's a real jumbo.
Yeah.
Also, yes. I'm a witness. No, there's a real jumbo.
We'll be getting to this in a second.
Okay.
This is where the good stuff.
Carry on. Carry on.
Nee, also eine einzelne Jewish Princess gibt es in dem Sinne nicht, das ist eine Charakterstudie. Ja gut, um die Antwort kurz zu halten, also diese Art Frau gibt es zumindest in Los Angeles, kann ich auf eigenen Leib habe ich das erfahren dürfen. Es gibt jede Menge solche Gestalten. Separat auf Shikiburi jede Menge Personen Skizzen gemacht, die nicht unbedingt eine spezifische Person zuzuweisen sind. But Cruise Slut and Jumbo können uns doch erklärt werden. You started tonight, tell us about the Cruise Slut. Oh, well, turn off the live streaming here?
No, just stream of consciousness. No, actually, in 1978, we were in Florida, and there was this girl named Beth Munther. She was hanging around.
Names have been changed.
She was well, not this particular because she would hang around with our crew and ride in the tour bus with them, and she was doing like the laundry and and special party favors for the guys in our crew. And let's see, what was that? It was like Miami or something, and then she ended up sticking. She did that every time we'd get out of the tour bus or get out of the limo, go to the hotel. She would be there coming out of the crew bus as far up as, oh my God, as far north as New York, as far west as Berkeley, California. The last time I saw her, she was sitting outside the Berkeley Community Theater with a little baby.
What year was that?
1980.
Oh my God.
Baby had a mustache.
Baby had a But yeah. That's but that is the real Cruise Slut.
Also the Cruise Slut, deren Name ich ja jetzt mal angenehmerweise vergessen habe. Wo ist das Livestreaming hier? So wie das. Good, you were studying law, right? So
yes.
So when we find out when that. Never mind. Aber es gab tatsächlich eine Dame, die umgehangen ist mit den Lehrern. The crew bus is not the musicians, it's the rooms, right?
No. Back in the early days, that's when we were riding in limos, and we would fly everywhere. The crew would be in their tour bus.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing. So we'd get to the hotel, or we'd get to the gig, and she'd be there, or she'd be folding clothes, in the bus and doing laundry and everything.
Damals natürlich die Roadcrews und die Hilfe, die sind mit dem Bus immer hingefahren zu den nächsten Staaten. Die Musiker, damit sie nicht platt gemacht werden, ein bisschen geflogen worden. Und allgemein, also in Miami hat es angefangen und es ging über die ganze Nation hinweg bis zu Berkeley, also quasi von unten links, nach unten rechts, nach oben links. Also die war ja immer, wenn sie in jedem Hotel angekommen sind, war sie ja schon da. Und sie hat ja Kleidung gefaltet, was wahrscheinlich eine Schönschreibung ist für irgendwas anderes. Aber, ja, und zufälligerweise, als ich nach Berkeley, California kam in 1980, war das letzte Mal, dass ich The Cruise Slut gesehen habe. Ich glaube, ich kenne sie, aber ich kenne ihren Namen. Ja, The Cruise Slut. Jumbo. You guys know about Jumbo? I think Jumbo was somewhere in the Midwest, wasn't it? Detroit or something.
Go ahead, man. Well, from Kalamazoo, but yes, go ahead.
Fragen wir uns von Danny lächelt jetzt. Ja.
While on tour with Frank, this girl,
Big girl.
I drank her 30. Anyway, she started following me everywhere, no matter what town she would be there. She'd be waiting, she'd find out what hotel I was staying at. I mean, it got pretty severe. So I think we got to the last gig, or one of the gigs, I think it was Chicago, and I was out with the guys, and Frank and I were hanging, and we came in about 4 in the morning, and there she was, by the elevator. So I turned around and I said, Jimbo, go away.
Totally true.
And Frank and I got in the elevator. So next day we go to sound check. And Frank says, here,
Here comes that damn sheet of paper. Yeah.
a sheet of paper. And he had
Yeah.
written a song called Jumbo, Go Away. And he wanted me to sing it. So I had to relive that experience.
Over and over and over.
So that's how Jumbo Go Away.
And in the song, please don't hurt me, is it Daddy? That is Danny. I always read it as his daddy, but I never told her.
Yeah, that was it.
Ja. Also Jumbo natürlich, also Jumbo, das kennt man ja, Jumbo heißt übergroß und es gab eine Frau, eine ja, so Groupie sozusagen, die absolut sich für Danny zerschossen war, sagt man, absolut nie verknallt und war auch immer da, egal wo, über mehrere Tour-Etappen, irgendwann in Chicago, also er und Frank waren einfach mal unterwegs gewesen, 4 Uhr morgens, da kommt man rein, okay, und da steht Jumbo neben dem Fahrstuhl, woraufhin Danny einfach endlich mal zu ihr sagt, Jumbo, go away. Naja, er und Frank steigen im Fahrstuhl. Am nächsten Tag beim Soundcheck, also bei der Übungssession, kommt Zappa an mit einem Stück Papier und die alle so, Zappa mit einem Stück Papier heißt neues Lied, hier. Und das sollte er lernen und das war natürlich das Lied Jumbo Go Away. Er musste es dann singen und das heißt, er dürfte jede Begegnung dann immer wieder erleben. Also.
One other thing to add to the Jumbos. In what song is it? Yeah, it is.
No, that is no Jumbo.
The line, Robbie, take me to Greek
Take me to
town.
Greek town.
That was Jumbo. So it's a limo driver.
Robbie. Was it Greek town in Detroit?
Take me to Greek town.
Yeah. What is Greek Town?
It's in Detroit.
Is it a mall or something?
Yeah, it's in Detroit. It's like the certain
All the
section
restaurants.
of Robbie restaurants.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And she's been trying to get our limo driver to take her there to get something to eat and to take her.
You're like she needed more to eat.
Right.
Yeah. Good girl. Good girl. Well, her head was just
The
fucking.
big
Her head was huge. The girl's head. And she did have a head like a buffalo. Yeah, but the girl's head was enormous. She was cute, but I mean, her head was like this.
So different strokes for different folks.
Hey, it was okay. She was cute, but, you know.
Also der Spruch in dem Lied, es gibt einige Sprüche. Kennst du das? Habt ihr das, die Platte? Ja, gut. I just always like being That's true here. Aber die Sprüche stammen alle eigentlich so mehr oder weniger echt gedichtet von Jumbo. Eines davon ist dieses Robbie, take me to Greek Town. In Greek Town ist halt da, ja, man eine Fußgängerzone oder so. It was Detroit, right? Michigan, somewhere.
Detroit.
Ja, er ist in Detroit.
Detroit.
Sie wollte ständig irgendwas zu essen, wobei so in der Größe hat sie eigentlich das nicht unbedingt nötig. Robbie war der Limousinenfahrer, so Robbie, take me to Greek Town. Jetzt auch sie, wie sie in das Limousine reingepasst hat. Ein bisschen schwierig, aber ne, gut. Well, this is kind of, we don't want to talk about CFT. Also es gibt eine sehr gut begründete Frage zur Familienbeziehung. Das ist gehört zu guten Ton. Wir Boys von uns nicht drüber. Sie wollen das bestimmt auch nicht machen. Wir lassen es einfach immer auch hängen. Ja. Das ist ja auch, that's pretty interesting. What people do you think Frank was thinking of when he composed Joe's Garage? You know,
All of us. It was just it was all basically.
Basically,
the band.
We were playing Nuremberg at some place where there used to be big rallies and all that stuff. And you remember, you got a band full of Catholics, okay? Denny, me, Benny, Tommy Mars, Ed Mann, Warren Carullo, and Frank, and Peter Wolf. And basically, we were sitting after sound check, talking about playing in bands when we were kids, you know, and our neighbors' mothers saying, "Turn it down." Basements, garages, you know, and everybody basically we're describing how our
How
garage
it
was.
starts for every band.
How it starts for every band,
Two
exactly.
chord Santana.
Yeah, the 2 chord Santana progression, and somebody had to know Louie somewhere. That was you guys, yeah. But essentially, that's what that came from. Actually, Joe's Garage and Catholic Girls was a simultaneous thing, because we're talking about the Catholic schools that we all went to, and the girls' names that were at the Catholic school that we went to, and the name of the nuns who were running the schools that we went to, and then we'd go home to our garages and or basements and or whatever, and practice our
Scales and arpeggios.
There's scales in there. Ja.
Eine sehr schöne Antwort, die haben sich alle gleichzeitig angeschaut und gesagt hat, also Joe's Garage wird spezifisch inspiriert oder darauf aufgelegt auf uns alle. Und ich dachte, okay, das war dann die damalige Band, meint er. Aber die sagen alle, wir haben als Musiker alle die gleiche Erfahrung gehabt. Joe's Garage ist so eine Art, wie kann man sagen, so ein Mythos von, was heißt es, als Teenager Rock'n'Roll zu machen, wenn die Nachbarn das ja scheiße finden. Ihr wisst ja, das Garage, so in Amerika hat man meist ein daneben stehende Gebäude zum Hütte zum Abstellen von dem Auto. Und es ist ja ganz üblich, dass da ist, wo man ja dann endlich mal einen Verstärker hat, wo man spielen darf, weil sonst die Eltern würden einen umbringen. Das heißt aber, das nächste Haus kriegt es ganz gut ab. Ja. Und dieser Begriff Garage Band oder Garage Music spricht wahrscheinlich deutlich. Aber das sagten sie alle, also jede kennt es, also irgendwer muss Louie spielen können. Dann die Secret Two-Chord Santana Chord Progression, was ich nicht offenbaren werde, weil wir werden jetzt doch übertragen, aber also es gibt gewisse Sachen, die man, und jeder weiß auch natürlich, dass es immer 2 Gitarrenspieler gibt und der mit der schwachen Persönlichkeit spielt Bass, das ist ja auch mal etwas. I was just saying there's always 2 guitar players and the one with the
biggest Sam.
yeah, bass.
Yeah. He's the guy.
We'll finish that off and the exhibit.
Yeah.
Gets to play
Yeah.
bass, that's
Yeah.
all I know. Und es war tatsächlich so, dass zu der Zeit in Servus Bern fast jeder katholisch war. Wir haben angefangen, irgendwann sich auszutauschen, weil in den Staaten die große Mehrheit der Leute geht auf die öffentlichen Schulen, aber es gibt so eine Genre, sage ich mal, nicht nur von Catholic Schools, also katholische, aber die Mädels, die da hingehen, sind auch mal eine ganz besondere Art, sage ich mal. I'm trying to describe Catholic girls. It's a rated program, you know.
Good luck. Ja.
Aber das ist so eine kanonische, also eine typische Erfahrung, die sie alle geteilt haben. Also das heißt, Joe's Garage ist nicht an einzelne Persönlichkeiten in dem Sinne aufgehängt, aber man kann einen Namen wie Carmelita Scarfoni nicht frei erfinden.
Real name.
Vinnie Colaiuta, that sounded a little Latin.
Yeah, but very real.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's what
That was, by the way, the Smothers interview where he's complaining about that guy from St. Louis. He spends most of the time complaining about the weird drummer with the beard.
Yeah. And the guy from
That
St.
boy
Louis.
ain't rap tight.
That boy ain't
He
rap.
ain't rap
He ain't rap tight, yeah.
Living home there, boy.
I'm a trouble guy.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a tough one. Does anybody want to try to explain in his own words Frank Zappa's character? That's tough. That's difficult.
No.
I can't explain my own character.
It's not my job.
I know it involves
Yeah.
politics.
It's above our pay grade. It's above my pay grade, sorry.
Danny, isn't that your favorite question?
That's the one that usually clears the room.
Yeah.
I'm watching the story. Yeah.
What was he really like? No. God, no.
Where did you get that bootleg? Bootleg.
Yeah, but that's the other
That
one.
was him. How did you guys actually get recruited? Come to the recording of Joe's Garage? I mean, did you just happen to walk in on the street and say,
No.
"Hi, it's me"?
No.
I know Ike knows me. I'm from Kansas. We're gonna play on Joe's Garage.
No,
How did you guys,
actually,
it was get to the
Be in the studio on Monday
Yeah.
because we were going to record Joe's Garage and Catholic Girls as a single. Joe's A side, Catholic Girls B side. That was pretty much just the boss calling, having Al Santos called me saying, Frank said, be in the studio on Monday. So that was just, get to work. All right, Monday, we start just doing the single. By Friday, we had 21 basic tracks. Okay, then we had 21 tracks, which became Joe's Garage. But it wasn't Joe's Garage yet. So that it took.
Did I call you, or did you hear about it?
Oh, Jeff was always with me.
Yeah.
We were, we've been since we were 18, so Jeff was already there.
Okay.
He was with me.
How did you
Frank heard me when he played a concert in Wichita. He'd gone to a couple of cover bands, clubs, and then he said, well, when there's something a little avant-garde, I had a childhood friend who was a guitarist. And in '69, they were doing George Benson, Opposition Orchestra, the writers. And so, what is living in the Jets? Tony, what's his last name?
Duran.
Duran.
Yeah.
He was sitting in, and Jim Gordon was playing drums. And so I had one key harmonica, and it was in their key.
Cool.
And so I went on set in, and Frank was with a girl that my older brother dated. And
Wow.
so when I finished, I heard, great. It was Frank Zappa. Okay. So went over and he goes, I'm Frank Zappa. I want you to come up and play with me. So from that, I guess he thought, well, that's the harmonica player.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
Cool, man. That's cool.
And so he took me out, and that's when I met the guy.
Ja.
Also Greg war, es ist wieder Kansas. Ihr wisst ja natürlich, dass Amerika aus 3 Teilen besteht, Ostküste, Westküste, und wir nennen das the Flyover. Das heißt, alles was dazwischen ist, man fliegt drüber hinweg. Sorry guys, I'm dissing the Midwest, but we got it. Hey,
It's ours.
I just want to get the real feeling of Wichita, you know? Wichita, we're getting back to Zach with the
The
Georgia.
air capital of the world.
The air capital of the world.
That's right.
A lot of air in Wichita. Aber Craig war natürlich in Wichita. Zappa spielte also gerade in Wichita, wie immer Zappa wird auch mal ein bisschen eben die Ortschaftsszenen oder wo er war in ein paar so ja Cover, wie will man sagen, Nightclubs, wo es also Coverbands gab und zweite und ich sagte, okay, das ist cool, aber ich würde gerne mal etwas eher Avantgarde mal anhören können, und so ist er dann durch Machenschaften, die ich ja nicht so mitbekommen habe, weil wir schon das wahrscheinlich nicht wissen, aber Frank Zappa war mit eine Frau, die eigentlich sein älterer Bruders Freundin gewesen war, nicht mehr zu der Zeit, ne? Und was mit heißt, wissen wir nicht, was bleibt. Auf alle Fälle, da kam es dazu, dass eben die alle so, ja, quasi auf einem Haufen waren. Und Zappa hat eben einen Harmonikaspieler einfach für in dem Moment gesucht, und er meinte, er hat also eine Harmonika mit dabei gehabt, das in eine Note sozusagen so in C. Naja, das war das, was er sucht, und offensichtlich hat es geklappt, und dann auf einmal war er ein Harmonikaspieler für Joe's Garage und nach Los Angeles. Der Rest ist Geschichte.
Here's a lesson. It's very classic. I would say, children, about staying true to the roots. The band that I was there to play with wasn't as popular. But because of not being popular, that's how so you stay to what you believe.
Das heißt, Frank sagt, es gibt für ihn auch eine große Lektion da drin. Er spielte mit einer Band, die natürlich nicht so groß war als Zappas Gruppe, als die zusammengekommen sind, und er mehr oder weniger nicht per Zufall, aber mehr oder weniger einfach so gewählt wurde, mit Zappa zu spielen. Er meinte aber, weil sein Herz ihm gesagt hat, ja, das ist die Band, bei denen ich bin, es ist nicht die allerbeste, aber ich stehe zu meiner Band, ist es diese Einstellung, die ihn überhaupt mal in Kontakt mit Frank Zappa brachte. Und das heißt, er sagt, okay, ich bin jetzt ein Star, ich werde auf Zappas Tour mich hinstellen und warten müssen. Ich nehme so. Lieber bleibt man treu seinem Herz, macht das, was man machen will, machen kann, und dann passieren auch solche Sachen. Thank you. We need to do a little philosophy. Denny, tell us about the Tin Angels down south. I know I'm breathing this with material, but it's good material.
Okay. Well, after my second year of high school, I left California. My father was transferred yet again back to New York. So we went back, and then I didn't see Frank until about 1967, something like that, when the Mothers were playing at the Garrick Theater in Greenwich Village, New York, and I had a band. I had a blues trio, and I was playing in Greenwich Village as well. And I was walking down the street and I saw the marquee saying, "Absolutely free, Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Adventure." Holy shit, Frank! And I haven't seen him in such a long time. And in my blues band, we all wore suits and patent leather shoes and tie, pinky ring. So, as I was walking by the theater, I saw someone standing outside the kiosk, and it was Bobby Zappa, who was my best friend in high school. We hadn't seen each other for years. So we had a manly hug, and we talked for a few minutes. I said, "I'm dying to see Frank. Can I come in?" He said, "Wonder he's not there now. He's over at the Tin Angel, which is a big, real beatnik coffee shop. Espresso, poetry, and paisley." And he said, "Yeah, he's up there having coffee." So I had never been in there before. So I went to the Tin Angel, and I walk upstairs, and there's Frank, Allen Ginsberg, Andy Warhol. The three of them sitting at the table. And there I am, in my suit. And like I said, I felt like a brown shoe on a tuxedo.
Yeah.
Good blues.
Yeah. So, hey, how you doing? It's great. But, I felt a little uncomfortable. Just a bit. I needed that. At that time, I didn't even know I played anything, because the last time we saw each other, I played accordion. I tried to keep that a secret.
Yeah. Put that under the bed with
Good luck with that.
Yeah, after I heard electric guitar and the blues records I was listening to, the accordion went immediately under the bed. Never to be seen again. Anyway, that's
Denny natürlich so, Frank Zappas Vater sowie Dannys Vater waren Zivilangestellte im Militärbereich, aber das hieß, die wurden ständig irgendwo abgeordnet, delegiert zu einem anderen Staat. Danny und Frank Zappa haben sich dann einige Jahre nicht mehr gesehen, bis Danny in New York City war 1967. Ihr wisst ja, das war das sogenannte Summer of Love. Das war also das ganze Hippie, das 68er Sommer, was man hier hatte, war damals in 67. Alles in so Hippie-Ausrüstung. Greenwich Village ist so der Greek Town von New York City. Das ist da, wo die Musik ist, wo die Dichter sind. Bob Dylan spielt ja immer einfach so. Greenwich Village war da spielt. So die Leute. Danny hatte ein Bluesband, und zwar als Teil der Blues-Abmachung. Kennt ihr den Film The Blues Brothers? Ja, das ist der Hut, Anzug, Krawatte, Regen auf dem kleinen Finger halt. Also, wenn man Blues gerade dabei ist, Blues zu machen, ist es cool. Aber 1967 in Greenwich Village, ja, das war leicht verdächtig. Und Danny läuft dann, also an The Marquee ist einer der the Marquee is the name of the club?
No, the Marquee is
That thing up there, because that was the Garrick Club. See, he was playing at the Marquee. There is one club called the Marquee.
Yeah.
I don't know where. Auf alle Fälle. Ja. Danny läuft die Straße entlang und zieht oben drauf so vom Garrick Theater. Absolutely free. Frank's out the Mothers of Adventure. Shit, look at that, wow. Und läuft auf das Theater so, da lungert so ein junger Mann rum. Es ist sein alter bester Freund Bob Zappa. Bob, ja, so. Die umarmen sich, dann sagt er, Frank, jeez, ich muss mit ihm sprechen. Wo ist er? Und er ist da drüben in The Tin Angel. The Tin Angel ist, ist auch so ein prototypischer Coffee Shop. Also das ist nicht das holländische Coffee Shop, sondern wir haben nur Kaffee. Offiziell haben wir noch Kaffee. In Holland, of course, coffee shops are good. So it's like the same function, but not on top of the table. Naja, und da ist es 1967 und so wie das ist, dann läuft Denny rein. Frank sagt, Frank, how you doing? Und er sitzt am Tisch zu dritt mit Andy Warhol und Allen Ginsberg, kennt ihr Poetry? Also die drei. Und er sagt, Frank, how you... Schaut mal da und sagt, ich trage einen Anzug. Aber natürlich, als Zappa und er sich das letzte Mal gesehen hatten, spielte Danny noch Akkordeon. Und Zappa wusste gar nicht, dass er ja E-Gitarre spielt. Und Danny meinte, das hat sich aber insoweit erledigt, als er das erste Mal eine gute E-Gitarre gehört hat, Akkordeon unter das Bett und nie wieder gesehen. Oh, right. Five minutes. You really want to do some music? Because one of the questions here is, can somebody play the solo from which was it? Watermelon? Oh, we have Twister. Please play the harp. So you Oh, okay.
Can you believe that? I'm so sorry.
That's all right. You're allowed. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. The other question that we have is, Ike, can you please play the Outside Now solo?
No.
Okay.
No, because
It's not the right feed.
I don't, but there is no the outside now solo. It's whatever it ends up, whatever I choose it to be at that time. Basically, it's always a moment in time. Actually, and that goes along with when I play any solo. Or if Denny plays a solo, or Jeff plays a solo.
It's the feeling you get.
It's a moment in time, right there, you know, and you can't just play it. I mean, we know people that
They can play the same
it's
solo
the same
every
solo
night.
every night, but not here. Sorry, can't do it.
That comes from you guys.
From you guys, exactly, exactly.
And it changes, it's different all the time. I could never play the same thing twice.
Not ever, not ever.
There'll be some elements which might be the same.
Sure, yeah, but nothing even close to, you know.
Like
It's
black
nothing
napkins,
that's
you know,
planned.
there'll be certain
Yeah,
pieces
yeah,
of black
there's
napkins.
nothing planned.
Like last night,
Right.
you can never duplicate the solo that I played last night. I've heard that solo played by Frank and Ike tons of times.
Never the same.
But last night, the inspiration, you know, the feeling that was coming from the audience and from the band playing for the first time in front of anyone,
Exactly.
you know, there was a real special feeling on stage.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think it was palpable to the audience.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
You know.
Last night,
And
last
I
night was a totally,
Yeah.
that was a totally real, totally new,
So, I
fresh
mean,
thing.
I got up. For one thing, he was raised up, he wasn't standing up. You guys lifted him up out of his chair. And he just toured.
You guys, yeah.
Thank you very much.
So there you have it.
Das ist ja auch natürlich richtig, so ein Solo ist immer improvisiert, aber was ich auch alles sofort sagte, es hängt sehr, sehr viel ab, einfach von der Umgebung. Also wenn man auf der Bühne ist, spürt man, was das Publikum, wie sie drauf sind, man sieht sie. Also natürlich ist das ja auch noch wichtig und das beeinflusst eigentlich das, was diese spontane Improvisation ausmacht. Also da kann man nicht einfach sagen, es gibt ein Solo zu diesem Lied. Natürlich, es gibt Elemente, die sich immer wieder wiederholen, aber keiner improvisiert genau das gleiche Solo zweimal, auch wenn die Noten ganz genau die gleichen sind. Das Publikum ist ein Teil von dem Solo auch. Das Publikum will immer auch anders sagen. Also das heißt, es ist eine Symbiose, we love that word, also eine Zusammenarbeit zwischen vielen Faktoren und mit vielen Faktoren. Und da kann man nicht einfach sagen, ja, es gibt das eine Solo. So, ja.
Bei Franks Perfektionismus also.
In dem Sinne, dass man immer wieder die gleiche Noten spielen
Ja,
müsste, oder?
ja.
Well,
Also, perfekt.
ja, also ich werde die Frage weitergeben, aber ich glaube, die Solos bleiben halt so, wie sie das. our friend is saying, well, now if Frank was such a perfectionist, did that ever influence the fact that you didn't want to let your solos change too much? Did you feel concerned?
No, it had nothing to do with that. He was a perfectionist, but it had nothing to do with that at all.
And he knew what he was getting when he hired us.
Exactly.
He saw something in everyone.
Which is why he hired guys like us.
Yeah, he's hired people specifically for what he could see in some of the way they interpreted things that they were playing.
Right.
Because he was writing stuff that, you know, a lot of times a writer, you can write a song, but when you try to play it or sing it, you just don't quite make it. You know it's a good song, but you put it in the hands of someone that wasn't involved in that aspect of it, they're not
Just
thinking
didn't work.
about it.
It just didn't work, yeah.
They're just responding to it.
Yeah.
That's what he already committed that he would get. That's why when the band first rehearses, what we leave the rehearsal hall with, and what happens by the time we get through the tour, you would recognize the
Nope,
songs.
no, exactly.
Because the personalities of everyone, he's allowed to go and to own the music in a sense, feel
Yep,
part of it.
yep, yep.
So, and then as a band, we're playing together like last night.
Yeah.
That special thing that happens.
Yeah.
When you communicate on a level that, you know, there's no speaking, you just.
Yeah, that happened,
feeling,
that
you know,
definitely
playing
happened
off
last
each other.
night. That
That's what he
definitely
kind
happened.
of, I know what happened with the band.
Yeah.
That's the magic in music.
Yeah, exactly,
That's what happened last night,
intangible,
yeah.
you know,
Also was Perfektionismus angeht, also man...
I think we had a better time than they had.
Die haben ja Spaß aus mir. Ja, Frank said,
No.
das
But we had a pretty good time.
dass also Serpa bekanntlich hat eine Begabung für Leute einfach dich anschauen und sagen, du bist bestimmt ein guter Saxophonist. Solche Sachen. Also er hat irgendwie eine Begabung gehabt. Ich glaube, es war der Chauffeur von Ringo Starr. War irgendwie, er hat ihn umgeschrieben und selbst sagt, du spielst Bass. Was it Martin Lickard? Was it the chauffeur from Ringo Starr? Or is that who said, you look like a good bass player? Was it, so I
That's Martin Lickard, right?
Is it?
He was doing the motels,
I
right?
might be lying, but they. Aber die sagen auch alle, also Serpa hat Musiker angeheuert, weil er wusste, in dir steckt die Fähigkeit, das und das zu machen. Und dass wenn ein Lied geschrieben wird, da ist der Perfektionismus bestimmt sehr groß, er macht da alles so. Serpa weiß, er hat eine Beziehung dazu, er hat es geschrieben. Aber wenn man das aus der Hand gibt zu einem anderen Musiker, die Beziehung zwischen dem Musiker und der Musik ist eine ganz andere Dynamik. Und es war sein Perfektionismus bestand drin, er wusste genau, was für Qualitäten die einzelnen Musiker hatten. Und das, wenn ein Lied am Anfang des Tours hat überhaupt nichts mit dem Lied am Ende des Tours zu machen, zu tun gehabt. Weil das war sein Perfektionismus, war dieses unbestimmte Entwicklungsmaß. Good question. Any other questions? Yes.
Right, Andy, close water.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm sitting here with my beer. You guys all got.
No,
As I said, it's a journal custom.
what's about that time in?
Yeah, we just had a little drink.
Ladies, can you do like just a real short 20, 30 seconds love for reasons?
No.
She
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
I have a question.
Yes.
No,
My
everything-
friend
everything I'm
Roberto
pingling
wants to
here is
know
Joe's
if
garage.
Joe's Garage, the garage, does it really exist, is it exact place that exists
No.
or no? It's just
But there are
about your
places, there are
experience,
many places.
like that.
I saw one in Vancouver, Canada. There's one in Portland, Oregon.
Of course.
There's one in upstate New
So
York.
it is not an address.
There's one in Edinburgh, one
Yes,
in
we have many in
Midship.
Italy too, yes.
Just before, yeah, there's,
Torino?
yeah, in Torino, yeah. My friends from Italy, ladies and gentlemen. But no, I'm serious, these are my good friends from Italy. But no, there are places called Joe's Garage that were there. Some guy named Joe, some guy had a garage, and it's a real working garage before we even ever recorded the album. You know, they exist
Dato che
somewhere.
non c'è un po' di inciso giù.
No, it's bubbly water. I'm not a bubbly water. Here, have some atomic water.
That's okay.
Okay.
Jeff drinks atomic water, I don't. It's atomic water. But anyway, so it's, were we?
I think unless, are there any more questions that don't have to do with these guys playing music?
Yes, I agree. One
One
more question. One more question. That's it?
That's okay.
All right, one more.
Yesterday I missed Stick It Out.
No, we didn't play it yesterday.
No?
No.
No, I missed it.
Well,
Yes.
it depends on the band. You know, it depends on the band, and it depends on, you know, who's, and the time we have, and based on what show that we're planning. You know, basically, we loosely, that puts the song list together, and basically, that's gonna be the basic plan, depending on where we're playing. Now, tomorrow, we're playing in Osnabrück, and it's a totally different show. You know, it just. Cheers. Cheers, fellas. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mood music by Zap McKenna. Hired for weddings, for funerals, you name it. Expensive? No, he's not that expensive. I can get him for you at a really good price too. At a very, very good price. You know? Yeah, yeah.